MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning, Scotty Ray and Candace on Wednesday. And we have to start out with, how you say that?
Yeah.
Greg Beard. From where?
I don't know.
That is a brand new Alabama town that I think y'all
Usually
invented.
I can pronounce things, but...
Supalia. I don't know. Maybe it's Soup, Alabama.
Suilpa?
Yeah.
Suilpa?
Columbia, Mississippi
Yeah.
is there. I can pronounce that.
Yeah, I can too. But I hope y'all are having a good morning this morning.
Yeah. Hey, look, I was out minding my own business yesterday, and over there on aisle 4, there she was, checking out the meat. It was Candace at the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, me and Alden ran up there after I picked him up from school to get a few things. Yeah.
And always good to see folks out at the Pig. If you haven't visited Joe in a while, drop in. Always a good, clean store, and you feel safe when you're shopping there.
Yes, you do.
Because he's always got somebody with a broom right behind you.
I know there is always somebody cleaning or polishing the floor or something.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. So we begin this on a Wednesday, as we said, Hump Day. We've made it halfway through the week. We made it through that little bit of rain yesterday. Nothing serious. We did have a tornado watch that was issued, but never was there really a threat. We had a couple of thunderstorm warnings out to our west. Now, it did rain heavy, but no warnings.
Yeah, in the middle of the night, Kurt, this morning, he said, did I dream it or did it like pour down rain in the middle of the night? I said, it did. I'm surprised I didn't get up and check like radar or something because normally I do. But yeah, it was really, really.
4:30 this morning when I sat down in the chair here, I had not opened up radar to look at it. I was working on something else, and I thought, what is that noise? And then I looked at the radar, and it was flooding.
It was. It was.
Now, be prepared for this. Although there's not a huge percent, this could build up. We may have another round of some heavier rain on Friday. I don't know about severe. It's still kind of early, but we may have another round.
Surrounding us.
Yeah. Oh, look, you pronounced it right.
Suilpa.
Boy. I'm glad I'm not on Wheel of Fortune. They asked me where I'm from.
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard.
That was it.
Yeah.
Hey, I showed if you've got a picture, it's always, this morning I was glancing through Facebook, and I ran across the picture of Scuba, Mississippi, the depot in 1900, and I showed it. Pretty neat. And if you've got a picture, send us one. We'll show what old times that are not forgotten sometimes. Always interesting.
Yes. April Roberts says it's 14 here.
Where are you?
I don't know where that is.
You are. It's cold wherever you might be this morning.
It's muggy, kind of muggy outside
here. Yeah. Now, temperatures are going to be falling. We started out at about 72 this morning, and the forecast changed 2 or 3 times, but we're going to fall to 58 degrees by 11 o'clock. So although you're sweating now, you may have a little chill in a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of debating whether to put a little pullover on.
There you went.
We don't know what Mississippi weather's going to do.
You don't. And as Angela pointed out, I had air conditioner on earlier up here because I couldn't take it. Wow.
Yeah, so, one of my coworkers sent us a little thing on Messenger. Said, "I'm totally prepared for Mississippi weather," and she said, "I have my flip flops and my snow boots, I have my hot chocolate and my sweet tea."
And
it went on. It was a long list of things. It was really cute.
Hey, when are we going to start a little side program called Chronicles of the Hairdresser, to where you tell everything you know?
Oh, well, I would never tell everything I know.
Oh, come on. That's what makes it juicy.
But you do. It is entertaining at times.
Oh, I bet. Always hear something.
It's one of the funniest things, I think. Well, it's not funny all the time. It depends on what they're talking about. But when people are at the shampoo area getting their hair shampooed or getting their hair dried, they tend to yell everything they say because they just think y'all are the only people in the room.
And with that being said, that was funny that Debbie used to really give me a hard time. I have that I cannot whisper. I truly cannot. Everything that I say goes.
Yeah.
So there is no, hey, guess what? It'll go all over the room.
Yeah, I'm kind of loud when I talk too. I don't know if maybe I
may be deaf. All those years back in radio, you wore all those headphones those years, and it does mess with you as to what you can hear.
I know when I'm drying someone's hair, I cannot any kind of background noise going on with me, I can't hear you. You could be talking to me. If I have something going on, I'm not going to hear a word you say. I don't know what. Anyway.
That's a part of it there. Let's see here. April says she's in Missouri. Robbie, Missouri.
Okay.
Good ways off there, but 14 degrees? How mercy. That really makes you, when it gets that cold, you don't even want to crack your door to go out. I assume that you get used to it because you got to eat and go to work. But
yeah.
like Chicago, can you imagine doing that every day?
I wouldn't want to be in that cold of temperature. Somebody said my mic was cutting in and out. It was a little far away from me, so I pulled it closer. Is that better?
Hope so.
Maybe so.
Let us know there. Let's see, overnight, again, let me point this out. I mentioned it earlier. No one was hurt, but there were some gunshots fired in the air or at something around the 37th Avenue, 16th Street area. That's near Highland Park. Again, no one was hurt. 40th Avenue and 5th Street, also the same thing in those areas. Okay. As morning light comes, we may find out more. There are people that realize a couple days later that, something was hit over here.
Okay.
But as of now, there's nothing happening there. Let's see here, a few things that have gone on. I brought this up earlier this morning, and this is just to show, this was announced yesterday, the hate crime from the Aubrey killing that happened in Georgia there. They will spend the rest of their life in pretty much a open prison now. After you are convicted of a hate crime, you don't get a better prison. Does that make sense? You get sent to the general population to where they will whoop up on you every day.
Oh, goodness.
There is nothing good about prison, any of them, but they're going to be, and they got life in prison, so their lives are bad now.
Goodness. I don't know. They keep saying my mic or something. This mess. That sounds like I'm pausing when I speak. I don't know what that could be.
Let's give you a little bit more power there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think that's the best I can do at the moment. Maybe that'll fix it there.
He just don't like listening to me talk. He's cut my mic off. That's what it is.
Let's see what else is stirring this morning. Maybe you've heard about this by now. The Meridian Police Department, as we go back to our webpage here, and you can visit all the big stories that are out there. A murder suspect has been arrested. You can visit Sam Media Network, sammedia.network, and look at all of this. And this is a gentleman. He was already in jail for something else. And they have traced him back to a murder that happened in 2020 on Paulding Street, 46th Avenue. No bond. He's going to be there for a while. Let's see some other things that are happening there. Now, this happened in Philadelphia yesterday. Not long after we got this up, the Philadelphia Police Department made an arrest in the murder that happened Saturday night. Valley View Street was about the area this went on. A young man was there. He was shot. Another man was assaulted and hurt. Not as bad as the other one. The one that was assaulted drove him to Neshoba General Hospital, where he was pronounced later dead a few minutes later after he got there. They were looking for this gentleman right here, Cornelius Tavon Triplett. He was located and now has been transferred to the Winston County Jail. Also in custody is this gentleman right here. He also was a part of that, and he's been taken to jail also. And again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but have been accused and arrested for the murder of that young man in Philadelphia over the weekend. Sad. 18 years old, your life taken.
Right. And it looks like this guy's like around 19.
Yeah, they're not old either. Lives wasted for no reason there.
Yeah.
Philadelphia getting like Memphis, Milton said. We try to keep track of that. And with that being said there, and let me go here and show this, if I can pull this up here. As you go to our website, if you want to look at all of this, and this just shows in detail, let me pull this up here. When you get here, if you'll see this arrest report and you click there, it will take you and you can look at any of these here and click and find out more details of what's going on in your neighborhood. We do these two daily, and these are once a week where we load what happens with them. And it's always just good to know what's happening around you.
Right.
If that makes sense. I'm wanting to sound like what's her name and circle back.
Circle back. Jen. Yeah.
Carolyn said thugs are not gentlemen, and I agree with you.
No.
I agree with you 100% on that.
I think it's sad, though, when they're 18, 19, and even younger, or at any age, that they make the decision to to do the things that they do that ruins their whole life.
Yeah.
It basically, I'm not saying people can't change in that sense, because I know they can, but that's just an awful way to be living. I hate it.
Yeah, and let's see here. I'll show this in a minute there of someone else. I wanted to bring this up. We had the gentleman that came into us with the Battle for Texas Hospital. They had their winners. I want to show you their Facebook page. They had their winners of the young ladies that entered the beauty contest. And here they are. And a good job they did in Quitman this past weekend.
So they dressed in the
period.
Yeah, in the period of time that they were doing the reenactment.
Let's see here. Amika Howard, also Julian Weems, Ashlyn Feltz, and Miranda Howard were the winners there. Congratulations there. You can visit the site there and see more. I never entered it. I did do that one thing, and I was an escort one time in a beauty review for somebody. I didn't win, so I was kind of discouraged to come back the next year. Why?
Yeah, I always did the high school beauty reviews. I never won anything. But
they do that thing locally of the Dancing for the Stars type thing. They like to do an older beauty review in Meridian and see who is crowned the hottest thing.
I've always wanted to do the little dancing thing.
The dancing.
Yeah, I'd probably throw out a knee or something. But
I'll watch. I can't dance, but I'll come down and watch you.
Oh, goodness. I told Kurt, I said, we need to take one of those ballroom dancing classes. Now, I don't want to really do the waltzes and all that kind of stuff.
Can you do the tango?
No, but I would like to learn. I told him, I said, that would be fun to take a class like that.
Now, is tango the one
ain't all
where
for that, but,
the lady always puts the rose in her mouth and dances with the rose and she gets...
I don't know, I guess. I don't know what the names of all of them are, but I don't know. I think it would be neat to learn to do some of that kind of dancing. I like watching it. So, but like I said, I would probably throw out a knee or a hip or something. I haven't done anything like that in so long. I used to do gymnastics and all that kind of cheering.
You could bend.
I used to could do all that stuff. Now, oh, good. I'd probably break bones.
You do a split and you'd be on the floor for a week. Help me.
They'd have to drag me out of there.
I don't know if anybody remembers there was a comedian group called the Giesenslaw Brothers. Do you remember them?
No.
And they Mama, he's crazy over me. They had Mama, he's lazy.
Oh, they did
lazier than me. Yeah, kind of like Cletus T. Judd did.
Yeah.
And they done one called Help I'm White and I Can't Get Down, where they went dancing and he fell and he couldn't get back up.
Yeah. Goodness.
It was funny. But you don't even hear from Cletus T. Judd lately.
I know.
My cellmate thinks I'm sexy. What happened?
They probably get in trouble for offending the prisoners or something. Who knows? I don't know.
He's always staring at me. I don't care who you are.
We need a
buddy.
little fun and laughter in our lives. I like to laugh. I do.
Bill says he shows his inability to dance every Tuesday. Some people feel good about it. Other people have to have a little, what is the word for it? A Floribama enticement in them to be able to dance.
Yeah. Every time I think about dancing, I think about Seinfeld with Elaine.
Oh, yeah.
I still can watch that to this day. If you've never seen that episode of Seinfeld, you watch reruns. Elaine's dancing. She looks like she's having a conniption fit.
Go down in history as the worst dance ever because everybody still says it.
Yeah, it's funny.
And we ain't going to talk about the swimming pool episode there with the little ball guy. What was his name? George in the swimming pool. Y'all all know that.
Goodness.
Y'all don't go anywhere because we got a lot going on this morning and we want you to be a part of it. Stay close. And we got so much more to bring you this morning. So stay close. We'll be right back.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Phillips recalled certain Cpap devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Phillips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
Bill remembers that episode. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, where there is tons of items for you today. If you hadn't been down, now again, if you're looking for a candle, they got a lot of that there to choose from. That's over in the gift shop there.
Right. They have the Circle E candles, and the candles with the jewelry in it. They're down there on the bottom.
Yeah.
Those are really
See
neat.
that? If you need work clothes, there are plenty of this. And seriously, there's a lot of folks that work outside. And you need durable clothing that's not going to rip because you bump into barbed wire fences all the time. Maybe it's FR clothing, or, well, maybe you need some overalls or just a pullover shirt. They got that along with caps and things of that nature there. And that's those strong ones right there. You can put that on there and go up against some barbed wire fences all day. Maybe a new ball cap. Whatever the case is, with boots to keep your feet warm, yeah, protected too as well. See them there. They'll show you around with any implement that you may need for the yard, the garden, anything that you're working on. They got them down to even those little shovels there that clean out stalls. We're not going to call them anything else other than a stall shovel this morning. For your pets, they need something. They got that. Toys and more, and skillets to keep your husband straight. Yep, they got that there. See them. The gift shop and a whole lot more, including corn, guns, ammo, all in one place. You'll find it at exit 151, right off I-20. Since 1937, they've been taking care of business right there.
That's right.
Well, this is Wednesday morning as we begin it and start our day. Don't forget, downtown Meridian, Saturday is already the 26th, and the parade is coming.
It is. The Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and how do I say it? Because I'm fixing to pronounce it wrong. The dog thing. Crew of, is it Barkus? Is that what they call it?
I don't know what it's called, but I've never been to it, but I've heard it's really neat. You know, they bring their little dogs and parade them down
people
through there.
get into this with their dogs and
I guess
dress
they
them
dress them up.
Yeah.
And everything.
And don't we make fun of nobody's dog?
Sophie.
Yes, Sophie would be interested in other dogs and pulling me on a leash.
Yeah, dragging you down through there.
JJ might have worked.
To go get the beads.
Yeah. But beads, so enjoy that. That's going to be starting. It's going to be activities in downtown Meridian all week long, weekend long on Saturday. So I hope you make it out to that and enjoy yourself. It will be a lot of fun there. Let's take a look at a few stories that are happening. I ran up on this, and I thought we ought to share this because so many people forget that maybe you tell too much information of how strangers come up and they know too much about you. And let's pull this up. This was put out by the Mississippi Office of Homeland Security. Let me throw this up on the screen here. And your stickers on the back of your car tell a little bit, sometimes too much, don't they?
Yeah, I've often wondered about how safe that is. I mean, I know you're proud, like people are proud of their kids,
right,
and they're proud of different things, and they put it on their vehicle. And I was even thinking about really getting like one of the stickers for the travel ball team,
right,
you know, with Alden's. I thought about the name, and I thought the same thing about how that could be unsafe. So I was maybe put his number, you know. But people do put their names and.
Well, as you look at this example right here, oil field spouse, that says you live alone,
right?
That your husband is gone, or maybe it's your wife that's out there. Whichever the case is, it shows that you're normally alone. It says you got a little bitty dog over here, nothing to be scared of. And then, you know, the things with how many children you've got. And then this shows right there that sticker for motorcycle. Yeah, we've got four-wheelers, motorcycles in our garage. Come get them.
Right.
And then if you put the hunting stickers, well, my house is full of guns.
Right.
And then the next sticker shows you're not ever there.
Well, the dog thing, too, it has the dog's name on there.
Yeah.
If they want to come to your house, they can call him by name, you know, call him to him, you know. But, yeah, the baby on board thing might be an easy target because you have a baby with you, you know.
It's just a little something else to think about as criminals prey on this. They're like schooled in this. There must be a college for them.
Yeah. I wouldn't put anything past people, you know. On the tag, a lot of people will put their names on the tag, or they'll put something that's real easy to remember. So it's easy for somebody to keep track of them. You know?
And, you know, and anything lettered like that where they can call you by name. There was a guy that used to float around the Meridian area, and I forget, they called him Jumper Cable maybe, where he'd come up to you and always went to school with you. How you been? And he never said your name, but he acted like, well, maybe I know him and I don't. And then he'd hit you up for money at the end of it.
Right.
They're professionals out there. Just a small thought I thought we would share with you. And you can look that up on the Mississippi Office of Homeland Security if you want to look at it further.
I don't like when people come up to you and put you on the spot, especially when you have your kids with you. I mean, I don't know.
A lot of that goes on.
People might think that's ugly of me to say. I just
look at
I don't
Candace
like
being
that.
ugly. Ain't it? Before 8 o'clock.
I really went off on somebody one time when it was about 8 o'clock, and I probably shouldn't even been out that late with my kids at the store. But I was trying to get one in the car in a car seat, and the other one was standing by me, and somebody comes up with a sign like they can't talk.
Oh.
And I said, just get on.
Get away from me.
Get away. I mean, because I wasn't trying to be ugly, but I mean, I'm just like, you don't approach a woman. And I mean, to me, if somebody that doesn't mean any harm wouldn't come up to you, you know?
Right.
It's just not right to do that.
Before you got married, did you ever accept a dance anybody ever asked you, or did you go, "Arr"?
I'm going to tell you. No.
As we look at headlines across America, this is one, and this is very concerning to me. They hadn't even got there, and the D.C. mayor has already asked for the National Guard to be called up to take over Washington because truckers are coming. Now, and I said this morning, I think most of us know this. Truckers are one of the most kindest fields that are out there of people that work. Good men and women that drive rigs, always stopping to help somebody that's in danger or something. And then they're going to be treated like this when we had streets of America burn with protests. And they knew each night that they had matches and they had gasoline and they were throwing, do you pronounce it Molotov cocktails? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And they burned things, and never was the National Guard called. This was a peaceful protest that they had in Canada, and we expect the same in America.
They were arresting people up there.
Oh, they were. I mean, have you seen the video today?
No.
Where they were being kicked and beat by the cops? And they can do that without recourse because of martial law, the Emergency Act that they enacted.
Yeah. It can happen here. I mean, it really can. All the stuff that's happening everywhere else, just don't say it can't happen, because
That's correct.
But, you know, I don't think that they were as... Didn't Nancy Pelosi, she didn't call up the National Guard when the January 6th thing happened, right? Didn't they say she could and she refused?
Well, they had the fence up, it seems. But they weren't, I don't think they were in the area. They may have been in Washington. I know that the Capitol didn't have anybody protecting it.
Right, which is odd.
Yeah, and it was like everybody called in sick that day. It was a very skeleton crew.
Right.
If you were concerned. I need to go back. That's been so long, I don't know the correct answer to that, Candace.
Well, I knew they had them all in the parking garage, remember, at that time? Or somewhere. They had them all, and they were not being treated great. The National Guard.
It was the National Guard called right after that, maybe? And then they surrounded the place for months and wouldn't let them go home?
I can't remember. It's been so much happen in the last year.
I need to...
It's crazy.
I need to get caught back up on all that. Maybe tell us if you know the answer to that. Now, I got a text on this yesterday, and I read it, and I thought, okay, that could be. But as you dig deeper into this, cyber attacks most likely are going to happen, and they're going to be from Russia. They're going to be targeting power plants, water facilities, and also banks. Now, it may not anything happen. Let me just say that. Right. But it doesn't also hurt to have you extra couple $100 in case you can't withdraw something. If they were to hack your account or freeze your account, just to be sure. And that's what is so scary. If they always want to push this digital only. I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't like it either.
I like to have a 20 in my hand every once in a while in case I need something. Never leave home without it.
Yeah, because that happened in the Ukraine. They froze their accounts when the cyber attack happened there, and they could not go withdraw any money.
And then, when it gets into where it was like martial law there, that lady that gave the $50 as a donation, and they froze her accounts over that because they deemed her to be a bad person. But that's what Russia wants to do. Now, as we go back to this sad story that is out there, now, as I read into this, I did not realize that she was her Miss Alabama that passed away. Y'all know, and here's a picture of her. Here's Miss Alabama here. She died a couple of days ago from a fall that she had. Now, the Miami Herald, I believe, is the newspaper that first reported it. No, it was the Miami Police Department, said she committed suicide. And then they backtracked on that. Her family says she fell from a 3-story building. And she was in the hospital from the injuries from that. And originally, the police department said she jumped. But again, they did backtrack from that. And the family is ferociously trying to say that she would not have committed suicide. It was an accident where she fell. And she was in the hospital for a week. I had no clue when that story broke that she'd even been in a hospital.
Right.
Condolences to all involved in that.
That is awful. Horrible.
But we have seen.
How do you fall?
Yeah, it was through a window.
Yeah, I mean, how
I
do you?
don't know. Did she trip? And I guess you could do that, or this can happen to where you go to lean against the window and you think the window could have been open.
Right.
I wasn't there, and you slip. We saw last week with a young girl committed suicide in Jackson, Mississippi, off of I-55, off a bridge. We saw the Miss USA girl commit suicide. It's a problem.
That's horrible. It's an awful
But
thing.
the family says that did not happen here, that she never would have done that. I'm sure that there'll be a full-scale investigation into this, and when we know more, we'll pass that
Yeah, it was a
along.
week earlier that she had fallen and hit her head and then passed away. That had to have been something.
So that's the headlines on that story this morning. Parliament over in Russia has approved for the invasion of Russia. You know, they talked like there for a while, though nothing was going to happen, but we all know Putin wanted it, and they have given him the green light for this.
Yeah.
As we sit back and watch all of this news. Gas prices. And what is everybody seeing on gas prices so far?
They're climbing.
I've paid over $3, $3.09, I think.
We filled up the other day. I don't know how many gallons my tank holds, but $70.
Oh, yeah, that's about a 26 gallon. And if you've got one of those great 36-gallon vehicles, woo! Now, rumor is, and this is just rumor, by Memorial Day, they're saying that gas prices could reach $5 here. And they've cut off that pipeline, which would drive prices. Hey, y'all remember when we had someone that drilled here?
Yeah.
And we didn't depend upon other countries to affect our prices? Anybody remember those good old days? I thought I'd bring that up today.
But then turned around and kind of gave him the go-ahead to do his pipeline
Yeah.
for Russia. Makes a lot of sense.
Shut down the Keystone, all of
I
that.
saw
was,
several times yesterday, I saw people showing a video where when Biden was running for president, or maybe it was at the beginning of it or something, he was talking about how the Russian, Putin would not want to deal with him, because he's not going to let him get by with this and this and this. He hadn't done anything hardly, except the sanctions that he put yesterday on things.
and
But they just kind of ignored that and they just keep moving
Putin said,
on.
"You don't scare me."
Right.
That man is not scared of him. Greg says $3.99 for diesel. And what does that mean? It means your groceries will get higher because all this stuff is trucked to the stores. Everything that's out there that is trucked, the fuel, and that's what so many people don't understand. You take the common man. Okay, you give them $15 an hour. You up this, that, and the other. But if you drive gas prices, that affects their paycheck. That's how they get to work. Whether you're making minimum wage, which is $8 now, the more gas prices up or how much money you send them in the mail, you go up on gas, it affects everybody across the board.
Yes, it does.
$1.68 a gallon before Brandon and his politics. And that's right, Eddie. Nowadays we look at it and what is the highest that somebody's seen? I've seen pictures of like $3.49 is the highest that I've seen.
Somebody said a Ukraine civilian home hit. I don't know when that was but I know they said they moved in overnight, some of the troops.
Boy, just 36% of Americans like you approve of how Biden is handling the situation in Ukraine. Only 40%, it says, has faith in his policies, period. Which means 60 and 63% don't agree with it at all. That's overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's a large number there.
I was listening to one of the guys this morning talking, and he was saying if they move on over towards Poland and they reach that border, that's when the U.S. should step in because that's when NATO really kicks in. So, I don't know.
I don't know if he could handle it then. As we all saw how we were evacuated out of Afghanistan, how do you have a leader that can't do that, run something else? The Senator Rick Scott, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
This is pretty good. He's naming a bill after Trump, and it's going to be called Rescue America. He's stepping forward and doing this. He says that it's going to include a new voter ID law, shrinking the federal government, and rebuilding the border wall and naming it all after Trump. That's what he's introducing. We'll see how far that goes.
Yeah.
Rick Scott this is his first term and seems to be well liked.
Yeah.
So we hope that goes well. I was going to jump here, and and let me see if I can find this. We're going to talk about it, but that's all we're going to do is talk about it.
Yeah.
Normally, I'll show a picture of somebody that's running for office, but this shocked me. This is West Texas. This would be out in the Odessa, Texas area. A woman that is running for office. She had no budget, and they pretty much told her that she wasn't going to get any votes. Well, she goes, well, I've got other ways to get people's attention. And boy, howdy, did she get attention. She went topless. Yeah, and that's what her ads, and she's done this on TikTok. And I remind you, she is running as a Republican. She wants to be the railroad commissioner. She's 37 years old, and I'm showing Candace this. I'm not going to show it on here, but if you want to go to TikTok and find this, it will, like, knock you over with a feather.
It kind of makes you wonder what her job right now is.
Yeah. Her name is Sarah Stogner, Stogner, for Railroad Commissioner in West Texas. I have never in my life seen a politician do this.
Yeah. That's not classy at all.
Ray Stevens had a song about it called, yes, they call her the Streak.
Yeah, she lacks class, put it that way.
I mean, she ain't got nothing on but what God gave her in those ads.
God needs to, somebody needs to pray for her, is what I think.
You would expect that from all walks. That is there.
Ryan Godwin says diesel fuel in Atlanta last week was $4.16 a gallon. $4.16 a gallon. Goodness.
Wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! So there you go on that. The Dow plunged 480 points as oil prices surged yesterday. As this all kind of ties in with this.
Yeah.
Golly, as Gomer would say.
Did anybody else hear where Biden had approved more U.S. troops to be moved in over there?
No, I did not.
I thought I heard that this morning. I kind of try to watch the news while I'm getting ready in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's why I say this morning, last night. I try to keep up with it, but I miss a few things here and there.
So. Oh, we all do. I can't keep up because there's just so much that goes on. And you try to be on top of it the best you can. Don't run off. We've got more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace. Already 8:30. Can y'all believe that? This morning is flying by us.
It is flying by. Goodness.
So stay close. We've got more to come.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Fresh Idaho potatoes, a 8-pound bag, $3.99. California navel oranges, a 4-pound bag, $5.99. Yellow onions, a 3-pound bag, $2.49. Whole pork loin, $1.89 a pound. And New York strip steak, family pack, $8.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
Why is that aggravated?
And welcome back to Scotty Ray and Candace. We just got a note from the Meridian Police Department, and let's pull this picture up on the screen. This gentleman, detectives are warning to get this out as quickly as they can. Here we go. This is a gentleman that's wanted for aggravated domestic violence in the Meridian area. His name is Robin Brown. He's wanted for aggravated domestic violence. A little after 5 a.m. this morning, officers responded to a local hospital in reference to a stabbing that was dropped off.
A victim that was dropped off, yeah.
Multiple times in the neck and the head area. The victim is in stable condition, and he dropped him off. Again, this is the person they're looking for, and we'll get more about this. Maybe if you see them on the streets today, that you can do something about that.
It says that he left on foot.
So if you know anything, the telephone number is 484-6845, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 855-485-8477. So we'll have more on that. But pretty serious there.
Yeah, it is.
And I had not had a chance to talk to them this morning on that. So there we go with what's going on across Meridian. So let's hope he is caught. And we'll get those pictures out again on social media here right after the show is out, where you can share those. And if you're watching for the first time, welcome, whether it's on television or if you're watching from home on your computer or your phone, share it so others can be a part of this each day.
That's right.
Appreciate
you can
it.
interact with us by putting comments on there. If you're on YouTube or Facebook. That's right.
All right, let's go back in history and look at a few things. It was today that it all started, 1836. And although they died, legends would come out of this. Movie after movie has been made. Jim Bowie, you know those names. Davy Crockett. A lot of those perished in this today. The Battle of the Alamo began.
You ever been there?
I have never. I've driven
been there.
within a mile or two of it, but never been. Does it look out of place now?
It's been a number of years since I went, probably over 20 years ago, but yeah.
I would assume that there's all
It's
types
neat.
of new buildings and things, and this is, when it was there, was just wide open.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd still keep it like the picture kind of, sectioned off and try to preserve it.
That's as deep as it goes there with Texas there, the Battle of the Alamo. And I know that you've heard this song before, and there's a misspelled word, but it's going to be okay also as I glance up, I catch that. Who remembers the song, This Land Is Your Land? Yep. It was written today in 1940. Woody Guthrie put that out. You remember that?
I do remember that song.
A lot of people love that one. That was a part of the things that went on today. Now, this was brought up when I was doing the show this morning. In 1943, 6 gentlemen would raise this flag over Iwo Jima. They would later die from gunfire. Heroes they were, but that has been a symbol of our nation for so long.
Yes.
1943, that American flag going up. And it has always stood for freedom. We sometimes now wonder what happens in our own country.
It amazes me about the flag. When I was coming up, the flag, if you were folding a flag, you didn't let it touch the ground. You didn't disgrace it in any kind of way. And now it just seems like people are so disrespectful to the flag and our country.
Burn it here in our own country.
I know.
Spit on it.
And I always thought, maybe I was just told that, but I always thought it was against the law to disgrace the flag or do any kind of anything.
And if
like
we
that to the
don't
flag,
have such a law, why don't somebody introduce it and then have somebody that would enforce it? And I think most of us agree with the old Merle Haggard song. If you don't love it, leave it. If this place bothers you that bad, and I'm going to tell you something, it's a good place where so many people wouldn't want to keep getting in. Does that make sense?
Well, it's a representation of this country, just like a state bird is a representation of your state. It's against the law to do anything to a state bird, right?
Yeah.
Why is it not against the law? I know that's an animal, and I don't want any animal rights people to say anything, but
it stands for America.
Right. It stands for freedom, and it's what the country is about. So why don't they enforce some kind of law?
As y'all all know, there's a push to get rid of that flag. They want it gone.
Right.
And there's a lot of politicians that would fold like a paper towel. They're out there. Again, come November, make sure you vote. 1954, we switched gears to another thing. It was the first time that people would go, you got to go get a vaccine. They're going, do what? What? Yep, here it was. It was the polio vaccine that was introduced on this day. Now, I'm not sure how many other people out there. Maybe you're close to my age. Maybe.
Is that the one that had the big hole in your arm?
I got holes all in my arm here. But maybe you got one of those marks. I forget what that was.
I didn't get one of those.
It looked like 40 holes in your arm there where they stuck you.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what happened on this date back then. 1972, if you'll remember, this guy was born. Steve Holy. Anybody remember that name? His big hit would have been Good Morning, Beautiful. How are you today? After that, Beautiful walked off, and we never heard from him again. He did have one other song, I think was called I Got a Brand New Girlfriend. Okay. Which flopped. We haven't seen him since. 1994, and I didn't realize who this girl was until I started looking up information on it. Dakota Fanning has a birthday today, and I go, I looked at her and I stared at her and I thought, well, she looks familiar, but I don't know. Then I done my search and here she is, Man on Fire. She was the little girl in that movie.
That was a great movie. Whoa. Really good movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's grown up now.
She'd be 27-ish, somewhere along there, maybe 28 years old. Mm-hmm. Joyce Snowden Godwin said smallpox.
Yeah.
That's what the shot was. I got mine. I hope y'all got yours.
That's what that was?
Yeah, that's what she said it was.
Shot.
It's already been 2 years, believe it or not. And as I talked about trials and things, Muhammad was killed on this date. It was 2020. Ahmaud Arbery was killed in Georgia on this date. And yesterday concluded the trial. That was 2 years, kind of speedy.
Yeah.
I brought up several things that happened this morning in the state of Mississippi that happened 4 or 5 years ago that was just making it to trial. That's a mighty long time for a criminal not to be. Is that speedy is what I'm asking.
Right, yeah.
There is a problem with our court system of cases going that never should have been in court to begin with. Yeah. Unnecessary lawsuits that clog our system down. People sue over anything. And how do you stop it? I don't have the answers. But lo and behold, something needs to be done. Our justice system is so backed up. Right. It's the best that we've got now is all I can say on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an awful thing that happened, though.
Yeah. I haven't heard any more lately of what's going on in Mississippi down in Brookhaven over the case of the FedEx driver. Now, it wasn't that extreme, but someone did get shot at in a similar case of delivering products in Mississippi. The van did get shot. It was a father and son that tried to stop it, jumped out in front of them, and shot at them, which is a no-no. Yeah. So we've got more coming up with that. As this morning travels along, already 8:41. We hope you got a smile on your face and you're doing good.
Yes, we hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I know it's hard sometimes to get up and go in the mornings. I know I have that issue.
Getting that motivation.
I know. I have to get up and go straight to the coffee pot.
Oh, I couldn't make it every day without it.
I know.
I have to. That's my favorite place to hang out there.
Yeah.
So we've got more of the way with Scotty Ray and Candace. Stay close.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Fresh Idaho potatoes, a 8-pound bag, $3.99. California navel oranges, a 4-pound bag, $5.99. Yellow onions, a 3-pound bag, $2.49. Whole pork loin, $1.89 a pound. And New York strip steak, family pack, $8.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Wednesday morning. What a beautiful day the Lord hath made, as they say.
Yes, we just need a little bit of sunshine. A little bit of sunshine.
It's getting there. It's getting there slowly but surely as it creeps across today. Let's see a few other things. This is how people get in arguments in restaurants just blows me away. But a guy, and y'all have all seen this, and it's happened to you most likely when you've gone in somewhere and gotten a hamburger, you ordered your food, and it's not right.
That is a everyday thing now. I'm just telling you, it's just the normal, because I believe that people are hurting for people to work so bad. I told my husband, I was like, I think the only thing I can think is that they're hurting for people so bad they just throw them in there to work. Yeah. They don't have time to train them really
that's
good.
True.
So, it happens a lot, though.
And you had two women, and this is women that done this, started arguing because they dug in the bag and they realized that, well, not everything was in there. A hamburger was missing. Well, what do you think happens next? Well, they pull out a gun. I'm not making this up. They pull out a gun. And the guy that...
Over a $3 hamburger.
That was working the counter at the little hamburger place gets shot in the face. Over a $3 hamburger.
That is crazy.
He made a mistake. 99% of all restaurants will make anything good. It's not worth cussing someone or yelling or throwing and causing a scene. It's fixed easily.
Yeah.
He's going to be okay. One of the few times that something like that has had a good ending, and he has. Glad of that, but that was a scary. That was Wisconsin.
That is crazy. You'll whip a gun out at somebody because your $3 hamburger is missing from your order.
But you've seen that type person where they put them hands on the hips and here it comes.
Now, I know it is very aggravating when you are, especially if you are pushed with time, you're trying to go get something to eat. This has happened to me a number of times.
Right.
And, something's missing or something's not right or they put something on there, I try to make things as easy as I can. Some people go, I want a hamburger with just this and just that and just that. I'm like, I just want a hamburger with everything on it. I'll take off what I don't want.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's the easiest thing to me. But, yeah, it happens all the time, though.
But thank goodness he's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
By now, you've probably heard this, and I remember, do you remember the TV show on Fox called The Five? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
It's still on, yeah.
Yeah, he started out on there, and his name is Bob Beckel. He went on to become a political analyst, and let me show you his picture. This probably will ring a bell better. He has passed away at the age of 73.
Oh, goodness.
I remember watching him, and he was so wrong saying that Trump was going to lose. He had put all the cards on the table. It's over. He ain't going to win. And each time Bob was wrong. He was released from Fox, if I remember, because of maybe, and don't quote me on this, maybe a drinking problem of some sort. That's why he was released from the Five. I could be a little off on that, but it was something like that. It's been a while. But he has passed away. Condolences to the family. Him and Sean Hannity were pretty close.
Okay.
But The Five is a pretty good show. Greg Gutfeld.
Yeah, and he has his own show called Gutfeld at night.
He's hilarious, and he's destroying everybody else in the ratings.
I mean, he says what he wants to say, even though sometimes it's very offensive to some people, but he still does it. They're in Texas right now, I think, doing their show, like remotely doing their show. So
I can remember it was Good Morning America used to do stuff like that and move around. It's always fun to watch all of that.
A little different atmosphere.
Bill said he got threatened over a pizza one time.
Oh,
Bill,
really?
He used to be in the pizza business and got threatened over that he was going to get whooped or something even worse there. That does happen. Home prices are up. Have you bought one or priced one lately? Last year, get this, 19% almost. It was 18 point something, but almost 19%, the highest increase in 34 years. And you go, well, why is that? Building materials to build a new one have skyrocketed thanks to Joe and things, and that has driven the cost of ones that are already built through the roof, is why that's all happening there.
It is a definite, like if you were looking for a house, it's like a battle, going on. As far as when I say you find something you like, you better jump on it quick because
wait.
somebody else I can bet you, has already made an offer on it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A lot of things are going above the selling price or the asking price, so it's real competitive right now,
And I hadn't seen that in years to where that goes above. You go, I want $30,000 for it, and you end up getting $50,000 because other people are arguing over it.
Right. And I think building materials are being so high right now are deterring a lot of people from building, so they just go and buy instead of build. But let's hope things kind of go down. I know the realtors are really, that's a really good thing for them that people are buying. It's great. Good for the economy too. So
we go to Detroit next for a sad case, and we see this in Mississippi right now. The 6-year-old that was shot and killed south of here, down in Macomb, is where he was killed. A drive-by shooting. We go to Detroit, and much like the Mississippi case, it was 17, 18, and 19-year-olds that did this in a drive-by. We go to Chicago, and a little boy. I cannot fathom somebody even doing this, but a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old are in custody now for killing a 5-year-old execution style. Now, what could a 5-year-old little boy do to anyone?
There's a special place.
It is. And all
for
of
people
this
like that
has to begin at the home. The police can't fix your problems. It's not anyone else's problem. The home life is what shapes America into who you are. And we need to get back to family. And when I say that, just take a look around you. What is permissible on television shows now of language and things that are done? Where used to, that would have been, no, you can't show that to my children. Parents would have raised Cain. Now, it's become the norm.
Well,
show it. It doesn't matter.
Right. I remember years ago when everybody was putting out ads, children first, the kids are first. And that was a great thing, and they still should be doing that. Now, there's more protection for criminals and people out there trying to do harm than it is for these innocent children who they don't choose their parents. You know, they're brought into this world a lot of times by parents that do abuse them. You know, and it's a sad situation because somebody has to stand up for these kids. And stuff like this happens. But
judges have a lot to do with this. And I brought up the court system a while ago. This is what is, y'all know this. I'm not breaking news to you that you don't know. But say somebody breaks in your home, they twist and break their leg, they can sue you.
Right.
That ought not be allowed. If you're breaking a law of any sort, you should not be able to sue anyone. Mm-hmm. You brought it upon yourself.
Yeah.
When will America stand up and draw a line and say, stop? No, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
That would be a great way to start of stopping things right there.
I know. I mean, everything's backwards. Though. Like we've said many, many times, everything's just crazy. It's the opposite of what it should be.
Call Chris McDaniel and tell him I got a thought.
Okay.
See if he'll do something about it.
What's your thought?
That thought right there.
Yeah.
Introduce that as a bill.
Yeah.
Chris is a very strong person for the state of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Maybe you like him, maybe you don't, but listen to him. He's a no-nonsense. There's black and white, right or wrong. And I like that in a person.
Well, that's just like people, like you were saying, breaking into your home, but like the businesses where people just stand there and watch people steal stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you can't run after them. It's crazy.
We got to do something before it's too late, or our society will, well, it'll disappear, and we all know that.
Right.
We can all turn our heads and look down and stare at the sidewalk, pretend. And you remember those two security guards, what was that, New York City, where they stood there in the door and they watched the woman being beaten and robbed. Mm-hmm. And all they had to do was open the door to help her. They did nothing.
Yeah.
That's been a while back. I want to say that wouldn't happen in our area. I guess you can't speak for anyone, but I would think no.
Yeah. That's just like abortion, though. I mean, that's another sore subject.
It is very sore. And to me, you know, we do all of this, and they claim this is to save lives for this group, that group. Well, what about the millions of children?
It's used for a form of there are probably a handful of instances where people might use that because it, you know, somebody's life maybe is
Yeah, the mother's life is in danger.
But most of the time, and we all know it, it's used for birth control. I mean, really, there's other means, you know, there's other options that you could take, but people just think it's the easy way out pretty much for somebody.
They block traffic over fur coats and burn buildings.
Yeah.
Isn't a child's life worth it? My thoughts. Yeah. Maybe you agree with me.
It's just other options out there. A lot of people don't agree with what I say, but that's okay.
And I agree with that. And it's too far for me to. What's the first name there? Mm-hmm. Right there.
Gaius.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't pronounce. I can't see it, and I apologize for that. But I agree with what you say. Appreciate that comment. As we turn to talk about some more folks that sponsor us that are like great people, let me introduce you to my friend Chet. He's one of those that shakes your hand. Well, that's the truth, and there's not anything going to change from the time that you leave and the time that you come back. They're located on Highway 495. You'll find them in Center Hill, and you've seen some of these pictures. I got some new ones to add of things that they've worked on, so you can get a sample of what goes on there during a day's time. 737-2961. If you want honesty and work that's done right, this is who you talk to. Chet's Paint and Body. They do it every day, Monday through Friday, to take care of you. Drop in, visit with them. They'll handle all of that insurance work, get it done right. Aluminum beds as well. Maybe it's a nick, a little bitty scratch that you just can't take anymore.
Right.
Or your whole door is gone. Yeah. It doesn't matter. They'll fix that for you. Examples of what they do, the paint booth, classics. Man, they've got it right for you, right there. Drive up to the office, drop in, and they'll handle it from there. Again, Chet's Paint and Body. Visit with them today.
Don't hesitate. Call me. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Fresh Idaho potatoes, a 8-pound bag, $3.99. California navel oranges, a 4-pound bag, $5.99. Yellow onions, a 3-pound bag, $2.49. Whole pork loin, $1.89 a pound. And New York strip steak, family pack, $8.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
The back porch of Meridian is now open on Highway 19. Anything outdoors. Grills, fryers, pellets. And all grills come with free assembly. Whether you're looking for a cooler or custom woodwork. Plus local beef, milk and ice cream from Beeson, products from Cyples Mills, spices, and a whole lot more. And don't forget to check out the She Shed, where you'll find authentic Louis Vuitton purses and more. And we can't leave out the Spoon Fudge, the Back Porch, Highway 19 North Meridian. You know, you brought up the housing industry, and Snowden and Company Real Estate. They are there to help you in anything that goes on during this time of selling your home, or, well, you need a new one. You've outgrown it. Or maybe you just moved to the area here. It's your first time around.
Right.
From here all the way to Jackson, Mississippi, they can fix you up with a home, whether it's Clark County, Kemper County, Lauderdale, all of these places. They're just pictures of people that have used them, that have, well, trusted them. It's a lot to put faith in someone that takes care of you, and they're trustworthy people. They've been voted some of the best there in the Meridian Star Reader's Choice Award. Great folks. You know them. You probably go to church with them. Your dream home is awaiting you. Just flip on there. All you have to do is visit their site at snowdenrealestate.com. Kind of browse through. You've done that before.
Yes.
Look at those homes. Click on it.
You can find one in any area. I mean, they have the specific areas you can log in to where you're looking for a home, or you can just put the county. It'll pull it up. Yeah,
it's short and simple there. Now, they'll be there through 5 o'clock this afternoon. They'll close an only appointment on Saturday, and then they're shut down on Sunday. Maybe you need a double wide with some few acres of land to yourself. They've got that. Big homes, small homes, whatever the case is, the need that's going on in your life, they do all of that for you, Snowden Company. Visit them today. Again, it's online. This is Amanda. She's your leader there, and here's all the folks that work for her. Get to know them. Find out why so many people trust them. Because, well, they are trustworthy right here in the Meridian area. Boy, time is getting away from us. What is it? We're getting toward the top of the hour already?
8:56, yes.
What are we going to do? I'm going to have to go to work here in a moment.
Flying right on by. If we hadn't told you good morning, we're so glad you joined the show today and give us some comments up here for us to read.
Macy's is kind of defied. They were saying that sales were going to drop, but it's not the case with Macy's department store. They have grown by 30% during these times. It was gloom and doom is what they said was going to happen, but that did not. That's good news there.
I think people are just, they were so ready to get out of the house, go shop, go do something, you know. So I think things have picked up in that sense. I think it's just hard in some areas like groceries for people to get some stuff in, you know.
The Supreme Court is getting ready to be involved in this. And maybe you remember, do you remember the cake that was designed? It was a cake company that was a Christian, and they had somebody come in that went against their religious beliefs.
They refused to do a cake.
Right, and they got sued. Didn't they lose?
I thought they won.
They may have.
I might be wrong. I thought because they were a private business that they were.
I thought in the end that they lost case.
Not.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
Another case is headed to the Supreme Court to hear a case of a Christian graphic designer who refused to create websites for same-sex weddings. So it was against her religious freedoms, and she wasn't going to do it. You know, you remember the old sign in stores, no shoes, no shirt, no service?
Right.
Isn't that kind of the same thing? You have a right to refuse who you are for whatever?
I guess so. If it's your business, you can refuse, you know, whatever, I guess. I mean,
well, that's headed to the Supreme Court. We'll watch this and let you know what becomes of it. I need to go back and dig around and find out about the cake. I know it cost them thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees. We'll see how that turns out. We had a lawyer get a little too much to drink in a tavern in Florida. Got so bad that she took all her clothes off. She was took to jail.
Goodness.
And she done all that because they wouldn't serve her any more alcohol. What a great reason to take all your clothes off and yell at somebody.
Yeah, they're going to change their mind now, I think.
So how does that help your law
Now they're
firm?
like, you're drunk, you're not getting any more, and go get your clothes off.
But really, wouldn't that?
Yeah.
And then it's really bad if no one hits on you after you do all of that. It should be a big sign to you. Florida, it's always something like that going on down there. Let's see a couple of other things there. We had 2 Black Hawks crash yesterday.
Oh, goodness.
In training, $6 million each. I think everybody was okay in the crash, but still.
Well, thank goodness, yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the big stories that come out yesterday that was kind of buried in all the other news that went on around the nation.
I was trying to say, where was that?
Let's see here. It was damaged in training exercise, Utah.
Okay. Goodness. Thank goodness they were okay.
Happened at 9:30 yesterday morning is how that went down. In training, they have to do all those things.
Oh, yeah.
But regardless, think about those guys that went down on that. They got to be sore today regardless.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
All right.
Goodness.
Well, we're it's our time is up, like Mr. Rogers, and we're closing down the neighborhood this morning.
We are.
We'll be back tomorrow. Again, thank y'all.
Yeah, and stay safe today.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by